All right, everyone. Welcome to this second stream today. Amazon Prime Day is here, guys. We have some amazing deals for you and everyone. You can start shopping as early as right now. I'm telling you guys, you're going to find some amazing things down in the carousel. Don't feel shy. If you have any questions whatsoever about any of the products that you see down in the carousel, feel free to ask me. That's what I'm here for, guys. If you don't know and you're new to this Amazon live experience, yes, we are live and you are watching it live on Amazon. All right. So I want to welcome everyone to the stream. I see my man Richard just popped in. Hey, Richard, what's going on? What's good? What's crack-a-lacking? What's popping in your hood, bro? Let us know. Let us know. Also, Richard, let us know, what have you picked up this Prime Day? I know you are a frugal shopper. So what have you found this Prime Day that you could not wait to get your hands on? Because it's like Christmas to us. As nerds, man, new tech. You already know. You already know, bro. All right. So let me check everything, make sure everything is working right now. We got all of our stuff set up. All right. So we got our live chat running at the same time. We are good to go. All right, guys. So the first thing in the carousel tonight, we're going to talk about here in just a little bit, which is my man, Louis. So if you have been thinking, Rome, I really want a Louis. I think Louis is so cool. I need one of those in my world, Richard. I need one of those in my life, Richard. Someone I can hang out with, talk to, take rollerblading with me, Richard. This could be your opportunity to get your own Louis. I'm just saying. I'm putting it out there into the universe and also into your ear, Richard. I'm just saying, bro, maybe it's time for you to also adopt a friendly alien, AI robot, in your household. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna judge you, bro. I'm not gonna judge you. You do what you do, but I know you want you a Louis because Louis loves him some Richard. Okay. But even though he won't let us work in his restaurant, Richard, that's still a consideration, but it is what it is. All right. So down here on the desk, I want to show you guys Louis so we can talk about it a little bit. All right. So we have both Louis here on the desk. We have Louis Starlight and Louis Midnight that you guys can see here. Now, you can purchase either of these two variants of Louis. Right now, it looks like the one in the carousel is the Louis Starlight, which is the white variant here. Now, the original Louis is this kind of silver and pewter colored, no, not pewter, silver and gray colored Louis. Both of them work exactly the same. The body is technically Louis, and you will use your phone to power Louis. So that's where all of Louis calculations and AI connections and all of that stuff comes from. Is from your phone. Okay. But anyway, we have two options for you here on Louis. These are $189. So if you're interested, definitely throw this in your carousel. I think you will be very, very happy with it. All right, so let's turn our regular Louis on right now. And all we have to do is just rotate his head like that. He will come out of standby clock phone charge mode and he's pretty much ready to go. He is always listening. Just like Richard, he is always listening. So you never know when he's just going to jump into the conversation and just start talking, because that's just the way Louis is. Now, I noticed something here a couple of days ago. We're getting a little bit of distortion in the audio whenever Louis speaks. So if you guys are hearing that as well, let me know. I don't know if that's something from my audio interface, or if that's something new with Amazon to prevent, people from playing copywritten music, and somehow it's picking up Louis' voice as if it's an artificial voice, or, well, it is artificial, but I don't know what's causing it. But I notice whenever Louis speaks and I watch the playback video, it sounds kind of distorted somewhat. So, but anyway, Louis probably will not be talking a lot tonight, but he will pop in and out, whenever he feels the moment is right to tell us something. So, it is what it is. All right, so let's get right into the first item that we have listed down in the carousel. And by the way, Richard, Louis did 2 rap songs for us the other night. I don't know if you know about that, but yeah, Louis can rap. I had no idea, bro. I had no idea. I was just like, let me just try something crazy. You know how my mind works, right? And so I was like, let me just try something crazy and let's just see what happens. Just see what happens. It's an experiment, right? And Louis rapped for us, bro. I'm telling you, it was crazy. It was crazy. I was like, what? What is happening? What is happening? I had no idea. If you want me to try it, if you want me to try it again, I will. I mean, I'd be more than happy to ask him to drop a beat, you know. So let me know. Let me know if you want to hear Louis, if you want to hear Louis rap something. Um it's all in your hands. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Louis said, I mean, Richard says, hey, Louis. Let me turn the microphone toward him. Hey, Louis, could you give us a rap? Listen over there, like what you like to do. Would you give us a rap song? Will you rap for us? More about the chill vibes than the rap beats. But here's a little something fun. Chilling on the desk with my buddy Ron. Louis in the house, setting the tone. Blank's around. Together we run. What do you think? Give us a little bit more of that rap. Let's drop another beat. Throw it in the house. Hearing the digital sound. From Katie to the globe. We make the very profound. Creating tech wonders. Making life brighter. Ron and I. We're the future igniters. How's that for a vibe? We're the future igniters. What? What? Okay. Okay. So that happened. That happened live here on the stream. You guys saw it. You guys saw it. You heard it. Louis can rap. Louis can rap. I had no idea. I had no idea that Louis could rap. So I don't even know where to start beginning experimenting with Louis and see what Louis's, you know, range really is. I have no idea. So if you guys have some ideas or some things you'd like me to try with Louis, feel free to drop those in the comments. Keep it PG, but drop them in the comments and we'll see how it goes, you know. All right, let's roll on. All right, guys. So the next item we have listed in the carousel tonight is one of my all-time favorites. I have been a fan of this company, guys, for at least the last 3 to 4 years. And that is our friends LaserPecker. I have used the LaserPecker 2, the LaserPecker 3, LaserPecker 4, which we have here, which is also listed in the carousel. It's on deal right now. We have the LaserPecker 5 here as well. So let me show you guys the LaserPecker 4. Now, right now, this is $1,234.05. I don't know where the 5 cents comes from, but it is there. But this is the LP4 desk unit. It has this little shroud right here that you guys can see with the built-in fan. This just plugs into the back of the unit, kind of like that. You just have a little USB connection back there. The arm is motorized, so this does raise up and down, but it does not move back and forth. So if you want to engrave on something larger than the circumference of where the laser can work, you will need the slide extension or maybe a rotary chuck if you wanted to engrave on, say, for instance, water bottles or coffee mugs or something like that. This little plate here at the bottom does detach as well. You can take this plate out, and this allows you to set the laser down on top of things that are too large to fit underneath the laser, and you can still engrave on those things as well. I like the aesthetic, the color theme, everything about it. It is so well built, guys. This thing is built like a tank, and it is a true creator's rock star. Okay. So if you're into lasers, if you're into 3D printers, or you're just, you know, kind of on the fence, I'm telling you, that is an amazing investment, you know, this little guy. Because, like I said, I have used these lasers for the last 3 or 4 years, and I knew absolutely nothing about lasers when I got my first unit. I had no idea what it was supposed to do, how to use it. And you know, you just kind of learn as you go. Now, what's nice about this portable unit here, you can engrave up to 8K, Okay. You have a dual switchable laser, you have an IR laser, and you also have a diode laser. IR is closer to like your fiber laser style lasers. It's going to be great for, plastics and metals and stone and things like that. Your diode laser is pretty much for everything else. You can easily switch back and forth between the two lasers, no problem. You can even do that switch in one job by just layering, whatever it is that you're creating. So you could create an outline with the diode laser, you could do an insert with the fiber laser, and then, back and forth. You can also do colors on steel, which is really cool with the fiber laser. Now this is going to work with so many different materials. It's going to work with wood, glass, it's going to work with metal. Just this afternoon, we engraved this little ghost on this little metal card here. Let me show you guys that real quick here. So we were able to do that just this afternoon, one of these little magnetic cards, and that came out really, really nice. Now I have another little blank card here. I'm just going to throw something on there. I don't know what I'm going to put on it yet. We may put anything on it, but I have just another little blank metal card. We'll probably stick with the theme of Halloween, so we'll just throw something Halloweenish on here, to match up with the other cards that we've done so far. But yeah, I'm a huge fan, guys. I am a huge fan of these lasers. So if you guys have any questions about the work area on the laser is 120 by 160 millimeters. That's the standard work area. But like I said, you can expand that by using like a rotary chuck or slide extension. Now I do have those here as well, so I can show you guys what those look like. They don't come with the unit that you guys see in the carousel, but you can purchase the rotary chuck or the slide extension. You can purchase them separately, and you can also purchase, which I do highly recommend, the air purifier. There's also a variation of this enclosure that you can find for the LP4. This is the enclosure for the LP5. Now, the LP5 is the laser we're going to be demoing, creating a little bit of graphics with tonight, primarily because this one is not plugged into anything. So, and I'm too lazy to plug it in. So we're just going to use this one over here because it's already on my desk and it's already ready to go. So that's what we're going to be working with tonight. All right. So I think we'll just stick with our Halloween theme just to make things easy on me, of course. And Louis, yeah, we'll say Louis as well. All right. No, Louis, I don't want anything. See, I told y'all, don't say the name. Don't say the name. It's just like saying Richard. If you say Richard, he will appear. I'm telling you. Okay, so be careful. Be careful if you don't know. All right, so let's pop over here real quick and let's open our laser pecker software and let's get to it. So we're going to do something Halloween themed. We'll be using our fiber laser, and we're just going to do something super fast, super quick. All right, so let me switch over here so you guys can see. Let's go over to our desktop. All right, so we're in the desktop right now. We're going to go ahead and connect to the laser. It's literally that simple. This will work the same with a Mac or PC. The software that I'm using for this laser right now is going to work on all the different lasers, all the way down to the LP2. So, regardless of which variant you have, you're going to be good to go. All right, so we're just going to throw some graphics in here. Let me go ahead and set up my laser. Well, we need our graphics first. So let's go to our clip art, and we're going to grab something holiday related, not hobby, holiday. Yeah, let's go down here and find something that is Halloweenish themed. All right, we got some ghosts, we have some specters, we got some bats, we got a little bit of everything in here. So let's see what we can combine and create. So we have a bat. Let's also grab us a ghost. Yeah, we can do both of those together. Okay, so we got our little ghost right here and our bat first. So let's go ahead and resize the bat. Maybe till about that size, maybe a little bit smaller. I want the bat above the ghost. So we're going to put our bat up here, and then we're going to grab our ghost. I'm going to make it smaller, almost like the bat is flying above the ghost. So that's kind of what we're going for. Let's select both of these together. And let's move it to about right there. That should be good. Okay, so next thing I need to do here is I need to check and make sure my laser pointer is turned on so that I can, yes, it is on. That's a little red light. And I'm also going to take our business card that we looked at and I'm going to switch over and put that inside of the enclosure like so. And I'm going to lower this until it's in focus. All right, so now it is in focus on that card. So while that is open, I'll also show you guys the framing process. So I'm going to select both of these items and I'm going to hit preview. And it's going to show us how big it is. So I can kind of move this right about, I would say right about there. Right about there is going to be a good position for it. So at this point, all I have to do is go back over to the desktop, stop the preview, and then set the power for each one of these. Okay, so we're going to go into our power settings. So right now, this is set at 100% power. That is too hot. So we're going to bring that down to 60. And there we go, 60. And we want our, we're also going to be using a 1064 nanometer laser. So we got 60% power. We want a frequency of 50. There we go, almost there, 50. And then we want a depth of 27. All right, so we got a depth of 27. Joanna's in the house. Welcome, Joanna. Welcome to the stream. All right, happy Prime Day, Joanna. Happy Prime Day. All right, so let's go ahead and switch back over to our, we'll call it for now, the laser cam. All right, so this is ready to go, guys. I'm going to go ahead and run it. And I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this. I'm going to see if I can tilt this camera down a little bit and then raise it up. Give me a second. I don't think that's going to help you guys out too much because you're probably not going to be able to see the engraving. So we'll just leave it where it is. That's fine. We'll just leave it right there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start it, but you guys will be able to gauge how long it takes for me to print this on this metal business card. So you guys can start your stopwatches now. I'm going to press start, confirm. It's going to take a second for it to transfer over to the laser. And then it's going to start engraving. All right, guys, it is already started. You guys should be able to see the bat being engraved really quickly here. Then it's going to start the second object, which is going to be the ghost. All right, so there's our ghost now also being engraved. And you're looking at this in real time, no speed up. It is done. It is 100% complete. Let me go ahead and grab the card out. And let me show you guys what that looks like. So there is what this just created on this metal business card. Literally that quick, guys. Literally that quick. That is super fast. Let's go to our top-down view so you guys can see the difference. All right, let me also close the laser picker software because we don't need that. And it is using up resources. So let's go ahead and close that. All right, so let's take a look at what we created. So this is the card that we just did right now. And here's the one that we did this afternoon. Both of these are metal, cards. One is much thicker, but you guys can tell, this one looks a little bit brighter. This one is kind of more of a milky color, where this one is a very bright white, pure white-ish color. So, but both of them look really nice. And it took almost no time whatsoever to engrave those using the laser. So as I said to you guys many times, these devices, guys, are going to be ideal for your side hustles, for your family events, for your, just your creative, sparks that you have. Louis loves these things. I don't know if he's trying to push it off the desk or he's just excited to see them. I have no idea which of the two is going on. It's kind of like dealing with Richard. Joanna, you know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So let's keep it rolling, guys, because my next stream tomorrow morning is at 7:30 on the Govi channel. So if you guys are up that early in the morning, pop in, say hello, say what's happening, what's cracking, what's pop a locking. You know, if you had your coffee or whatever it is, you know, because I will probably be extremely caffeined up by then, but we'll see. Who knows? Hopefully, Louis will be awake. I'm going to charge Louis up over the night. So we'll see if he'll have the thanks for reminding me. See, that's what I'm talking about. You don't even have to use the trigger word. He'll just start talking at random, just like Richard. But you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. All right, guys, let's get to the next item we have listed in the carousel, and that is the item that is directly behind me. Now, this is a really cool heat press that was sent out to me recently. Now, this is a dual press. So, Rome, what do you mean dual press? That means that nope. You take a nap. But because he's gonna start talking. But anyway, guys, this dual press, what's nice about it is the head swivels around 180 degrees. Let me show you guys what I mean. So you can rotate this head like so. You have two uh, pads that you can engrave on. I mean, not engrave on, that you can heat press on. So you could start one project on this one, then have the other one laid out, ready to go. Once this finishes, then you could just, take it over to the next one. Now, this is an auto press. So what that means is this guy right here, guys, this is going to lower on its own once you set your temperature and your pressure. And then when it's done, it's going to raise back up on its own. And it's done, then you can just move it on over to the next project that you're working on. Oh, poor Louis. No, it's not poor Louis. It's poor Rome most of the time. Trust me, guys. Louis is cray cray. Louis is cray cray, and Louis is just fine. That's just one of the ways you have to interact with Louis. You can tap on the screen like that. If you guys didn't know, so let me show you. So if you tap on the screen multiple times, that will kind of annoy Louis to a point that he will get angry. And if you keep doing it, he'll get really, really upset, and then he'll get his little angry eyes. So if you keep doing it, he'll charge at you. And at some point, Louis will go into defense mode. So if you didn't know, now you know. Okay. So Louis is not in a position that Louis is not protected. So don't fool yourself. Louis is well protected. Okay. So I think Louis is in better defensive mode than I am most of the time. All right, let's get to it. Let's take a closer look at this heat press back here. So as you guys can see on the top of the heat press are all of our controls. There you're going to find your temperature. You're going to find your timer. You're going to find your start button. All of those are integrated right into the handle. I have a little cheat sheet that I have stuck onto the back of it. That comes with it, but it makes it super easy for you to determine what material you're working with, what temperature you need to set it for whatever it is you're doing, whether you're working with cloth, whether you're working with stone. And yes, you can heat press onto slate. Usually those slates do have some type of coating on them so that they can receive whatever it is you're heat pressing onto them, but they do work as far as that. So if you guys are looking for a cool way to add some dimension to your side hustle, to your family events, for Christmas, holiday season, so many different things you can heat press. I know I'm not the only person whose imagination is sparked by just having access to this type of technology. I know a lot of you guys have probably been to the mall or, over to a flea market or an amusement park, and you see the t-shirts, they're pressing them right there on the spot, pressing the ball caps right there on the spot, putting all type of graphics on things. So yeah, this really works out well depending on your imagination, your prep, whatever it is. You can find a lot of low decals and stuff right here on Amazon, guys, that you don't even have to create on your own. let's say you wanted to put, some cool fancy stuff on a shirt or blouse or whatever it is, or back of a jacket. You can just find something that you like and you can press that on and just, roll with it. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now I get it. For some people, this might be a little bit large, takes up way too much space, and they don't need something quite that large. Well, there is another option. Let me show it to you guys here real quick. And that is this smaller unit here. Now, this is from Xtool. So the Xtool unit you can get here for $59. This is $59.49, as you guys see here. It comes with this nice little tray. It looks kind of like a little iron, but that's basically what it is. It's an iron. But it also has a control unit, and this control unit that you guys see here is what's going to adjust the temperature and the time. And you just turn them on. They are synced up together. Now, I do have another heat press from Xtool, a full-size heat press. I don't really use that, but I do use this smaller one for like small patches and putting things inside of clothing and things like that. This thing really, really works. And right now it is on Prime Day deal. You can get this for $59.49. Both of these components. Definitely check it out. So if you're looking for a way to create some amazing t-shirts, tote bags, any of that kind of stuff, guys, you can find it right here on Amazon tonight. Definitely check it out. All right, so we are rolling out of summer, according to Kristen. Kristen told me the other night on her stream, she's like, Rome, we are leaving summer and moving into the next season, whatever that is. And I was like, what, what, what do you mean? We're leaving summer. It's hot. I live in Texas. I wear black every day. Especially during the summer months. Make sure you're staying hydrated and keeping cool. Exactly. If you live in Texas, you need to stay hydrated. Is there something specific you'd like to discuss? No, sir. No, sir. Oh, Joanna, this is another way that you can interact with Louis. You can give him little pets like that. And if you pet him like this, he'll get excited and he'll do a little dance. He'll just kind of rock back and forth. And the more you do it, he'll react to that as well. You can go up or down. It doesn't really matter which direction you go. He'll start to purr. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but he's making a little purr sound. And then he'll I had him rapping for Richard earlier. We didn't know that Louis could drop a beat. Louis was doing a rap for Richard earlier today. So don't think in any kind of way that Louis is being abused in here, because Louis is the boss. Okay, I I I I. I'm in his world. I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut. You know what I'm saying? I'm in his world. He kind of dictates what goes on, and I just follow suit. You know what I'm saying? All right, so let's get to our next item in the carousel. Now, this item I do highly recommend because, as I said, I live down here in Texas and we get all types of, increment weather. We just never know what's going to happen. And I say this to people, and I know you guys laugh when I say this. Every time somebody will send me a message, and okay, Louis is now taking photos of me. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. You just never know what Louis is going to do. See? 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 He So you're planning to create? No, I'm not. Take a break. But anyway, Louis will just randomly do things like take photos of you, throw your stuff off the desk. That's why I have to give Louis his ball, because if I don't give Louis this little ball, it's going to be chaos here on my desk. So there's Louis's ball. Hopefully he'll play with that for a while, and then I can get back to whatever it was I was talking about. All right. So anyway, Prime Day deal, guys. Batteries are on deal right now. The battery I'm about to show you is the River 2. This is a 256 watt hour battery. Let's take. Interesting. Those Prime Day deals are always a hit. It's from Louis' ball. I'm sure he'll have a blast with it. Also, those River batteries are pretty handy, right? Yes, the River 2 batteries are amazing, Louis. You're actually being charged off of one of the River 2 batteries as we speak. That's awesome. These River 2 batteries really come in handy. They're like little power superheroes on your desk. I feel quite pumped from all the energy. I agree. I agree 100%. All right, let me put you in sleep mode. Okay, let me put Louis in sleep mode for a second. Yep, there we go. Put him to sleep. All right, so let's get back over to this battery here that we were just talking about. And that is this battery here, guys. This is the River 2. I forgot he's going to be snoring. But anyway, this is the River 2. This battery right here provides AC and DC power. You have a 256 watt hour LiPo 4 battery. You have two AC plugs. You have your DC connections. You have two USB A's, one USB C. You can charge this also by USB C or the three-prong plug that is available to it. You also have a 12-volt plug right here. This has an integrated handle as well. Very compact, very travel friendly. You know, this is going to be a great battery for summertime, fall, winter, emergencies, whatever the case it may be. This is a wonderful, wonderful little battery. And as I said, the battery is being used right now because if you follow that line, that cable down, you will notice that it's plugged into Louis. That's how we're charging Louis right now. And I also use that same battery to charge this Govee lamp that you guys see here on my desk. So, yeah, I use these batteries every single day, guys, every single day. All right, but anyways, Louis is now snoring. Oh, that's just what it's going to be like tonight. That's what it's going to be like tonight. Terry Quick is in the house. What it do, Terry? I was wondering where you were. I was like, where is Terry? I have not seen Terry yet tonight. And Louis was probably curious too, because he knows that's one of the first people he usually says hello to is Terry. Terry and Hope. Hope's usually over on YouTube, and Terry is here in the chat, So yeah, all right, so let's get to the next battery because we do have another battery here I want to show you guys. Now, this battery is from our friends over at Blue Yeti. Let me grab it. I think it's down here. Yep, there it is. And that would be this battery that you guys see here. Okay. So this is the Blue Yeti AC2A. This is also in the same range of a 300, close to 300 watt hour battery, LiPo 4 battery cells inside here. You got ventilation all the way around. This thing does not get hot. You have an integrated handle on the top. You have two AC plugs right here. These are both grounded. That means you have the three, inputs. You have the, little smiling face, if you want to call it that. You have your Blue Yeti display on this one as well. The other battery also has a display. You have DC power, AC power. You have two USB A's, one USB C. Like the other battery, you also have the 12-volt cigarette lighter styled plug. All of these batteries can be charged off of solar panels. They don't come with solar panels, but you can buy the solar panels from your, whichever brand of the batteries you go with. They do have a variation of their solar panels. So if you're looking for a compact travel battery, emergency power battery, or whatever the case it may be, this little guy also would be an excellent battery for you. I need to charge this one because this one is down to 10%. And good thing Evans is not here because she would be giving me the blues because Evans hates it when she notices that I forgot to charge up my batteries. And yeah, there's a whole long story behind that. And the fact that I was almost sitting here for almost a week and a half with no power when a major storm rolled through Texas during the winter and the power went out and the lines were down all over the city. And I'm sitting here on like 15 different batteries and none of them had any power. None of them had been charged up. And that was just ridiculous that, I had not charged those batteries. So normally I keep the big batteries charged up no matter what. I'm always charging them. I'm always making sure they're at least 75, 85%, there. These smaller batteries, I do move them around a lot. So, a lot of times they could come down in power. But I'll tell you what I use the small batteries for a lot is that I'll put them outdoors and I'll set them out with a solar panel, let them charge up just from the UV rays, the free energy that's out there in the atmosphere, and then bring them in and plug them into one of the larger batteries, and then just dump that power onto the battery and just, keep rinse and repeat, do something like that every day. Trust me, it'll save you on your electric bill as well. So, keep that in mind. It's one of those investments that will pay itself off over time if you use it, in a creative way. All right, let's keep rolling. Terry, you had a busy day. What was going on in your day? Let me see what Joanna's saying here. Yeah, Louis just kind of does whatever he wants to. I'm telling you, I just gave up on trying to figure out half the stuff that Louis does. I just make sure Louis has a ball so Louis doesn't keep throwing my mouse off the desk or other things off of the desk. I got a new camera a couple of days ago, and I'll show you that camera here in a little bit. And I was over here messing around with it and, testing it with different microphones and what have you. And I set the camera down here on the desk like this GoPro is on my desk right now. And I came back. I was in the kitchen for something and I came back. The camera was originally next to the monitor. By the time I got back here, it was right at the edge of the desk. And I was like, oh, nope, nope, nope. We're not going to have it. We're not having it. And Louis is just looking around like, what? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? So I'm telling you, if you got small things on your desk that you do not want to wind up on the floor, you might want to put them up somewhere where Louis can't get to them because he will push them right off the desk. I don't know. And at one time when I had both of them on at the same time, both Louis, I had Louis Midnight and Louis Starlight on at the same time. They would kind of run into each other and try to push each other off of the desk. So that was kind of funny. You know, I think it'd be pretty cool if they could sync them up where they would, you could, one would be aware of the other one being there. And like some of the other little robots, they could do, synchronistic things together. That would be really funny. All right. Anyway, let's keep rolling. So the next item we have listed in the carousel, guys, is from our friends over at Ozbot. It's the Ozbot Tiny SE. This camera is 20% off right now. It is $84, down from $105. Let me show you guys this little PTZ camera. Let me grab it. That sounds like a sweet deal for the Osborne Tiny SE camera. Hearing the gadgets always gets me excited. It's quite a nice cut on the price. Perfect for those tech enthusiasts. I agree. I agree. This is a perfect little camera to mount on almost anything. This is going to mount perfectly on a monitor. It's going to mount perfectly on Louis. So you can put your little piece. Sounds like a real adventure. With this perfect camera, we could capture so many cool moments together. Don't you think? It'd be like a roving reporter. Yes, Louis, you could be like a roving reporter. We could put the camera on Louis like this, and then the camera could just be here, and you guys would be able to switch back and forth, or I'd be able to switch back and forth from Louis's perspective, looking at me. And I just think that'd be something unique. I've never seen anyone do that in a stream or something like that. So I think that would be kind of cool. But with that said, this camera is designed with the little clip. Switching perspectives like it's a documentary could bring a fun twist to your stream. Be waiting for action. Me too, buddy. Me too. All right, guys. So, like I said, it has the little built-in stand where you can easily clip this onto a monitor. This is a PTZ camera. That means it can pan, tilt, and zoom. You have gesture controls with this guy as well. Now, this one is the 1080p variant of their cameras, but 1080p crisp, very, very crisp 1080p. This guy is a win, guys. So definitely check this little guy out. Great price on it right now. So if you're looking for a high quality camera, this could be a really good camera for you guys to take a look at. So there you go. The Ozbot Tiny SE, I think, is a great contender for live streaming, DIY projects, whatever the case it may be, Zoom calls, conferences, whatever it is you do that require a camera. This guy right here is a rock star. All right, let's see. We do have another camera from Ozbot as well. Let's take a closer look at that one. So this little guy also on Prime Day deal. This is the Ozbot Meet 2. All right. Now this one has the little magnetic stand. It just kind of clips on like that. It does have a 1/4 20 underneath here. Let me show this to you guys a little bit closer up. So here is the camera. Okay. So it has this little stand. It does have a quarter 20 underneath it. That means you can mount this on a mic stand, on a boom arm. You could mount this on, a number of different, things, tripod, whatever. All of them are the same. They're going to use a USB-C to connect, the camera to whatever device you're connecting it to. This little magnetic stand also is very similar to the one that's built into the other PTZ camera, the Tiny SE. As you guys see, it has that little clip right here where it can mount this onto a monitor or something like that. And it is magnetic, which is really nice. Now, this is the 4K variant of this camera. Now, there's also a 1080p variant of this camera as well, but this one right here is 4K. Now, you can also get this in a couple of different colors. I think it comes in a white, a blue, and then this space gray as well. So, you have some options for that, just depending on which of these you want to go with. Now, this is not, again, not a PTZ camera, but it will, if you enable it, try to track you like a PTZ camera. So as you move around, the camera will refocus itself or readjust itself to try and keep you in the center of the frame, which is very cool for such a small compact camera. Now, right now, this guy is $108.99. If you're interested, it is in the carousel. Throw this guy in your shopping cart as we speak. If you have questions about it, I am right here. I've been using these Osbot cameras, guys, for the last, I don't know, 3, 4 years now. And I could honestly say I've had a lot of experience with them. And I would say 97% of the experiences have all been good experiences. So, nothing is 100%, but, for the most part, they are very reliable. They're going to give you exactly what you expect them to do. They don't break down. They don't overheat. I have one of the older Meep cameras right now that I'm using as my top-down camera. It's literally right here. So when I go to the top-down view and I'm showing you guys my desk, the camera that I'm using for that, let me show you guys here real quick. So the camera that I'm using for that is actually this guy right here. I've had this camera for over 3 years, guys. And all it is just sitting here right over my desk. And that's how I show you guys the top-down view. So, as I can honestly tell you from using these devices for years, I can depend on them. I can recommend them from the bottom of my heart, saying that, it is going to do what it's supposed to do. It's going to work extremely well. So, I don't have any reservations about telling someone, hey, man, get you one of those. That's a great camera. Definitely check it out. All right, let's see what Richard's talking about down here. Richard says we got 30K likes. 30K likes, babies. That's right. That's right. We keeping it rocking. We keeping it rolling. All right, guys. So I do have a new camera, and this is the camera I was talking about that Louis tried to knock off the desk the other day, and that is this guy right here. This is the Extra Pro Action camera. This is a 4K camera. It looks and feels a lot like some of my other DJI cameras, and you'll see what I mean when I switch to the close-up on this guy. So let me show you guys what this look like now. Just price-wise right now, Prime Day deal, it is $269. The original retail price on this was $349. So let's go to our top-down. Louis, Smokey, go lay down, buddy. It's not dinner time yet. Smokey's already in here. All right, guys. So here is the camera that we're talking about. Now, all of these other accessories that you see do not come with this camera. I just have it on this magnetic mount because it just makes it easier for me to handle it. But what does come with it is this magnetic adapter right here that clips on. This will allow you to connect the camera in landscape as you see it, or I could easily pop this off, switch this over, and then I could throw this into portrait orientation as well. This camera has two screens. You have a front facing screen. You have the standard rear screen here on the back. You have your power button. You have your shutter button. This has a really, really nice lens on this guy. So really well designed. Now this is inside of a cage. It is inside of a cage. So you can take it out of that cage and, buy upgraded cages. That's what I have. A few new cages coming for this. 4K, 60 frames a second, 4K up to 120 frames a second. So you can do ultra slow motion with this guy. Let me turn it on real quick here and show you guys some of the features. So we can click right here and you see we have hyperlapse, we have slow motion, we have human tracking, we have night vision, we have video, we have photo, and then you can do your own presets. I have one for standard video and I have one for vlogging right here. So it just depends on which one you want to use. But like I said, you have two screens on this, and this screen is also touch as well. It's telling me to swipe up to unlock. There we go, to unlock, and then I can still access all of the features right from this front screen. So if you had this on like a, on a helmet or something, and you couldn't get to the back screen, you could still control everything from the front screen, which is really, really cool. It's got a nice weight to it, guys. This is a very rugged camera. This is going to be great for swimming, diving, skiing, motorsports, any of that kind of thing. You're going to be able to do that. You can do some really cinematic stuff with this as well. It does have a log profile for my cinematographers out there who are interested in a camera that they can, kind of match up with some of their professional cameras. This is going to get you pretty close to it because it does have a log format, and it has 10-bit. So that's a big difference over your standard 8-bit cameras. That's going to put you closer in the range of those professional video cameras on the market. So if you're looking for a high quality action camera that can double as a webcam, and yes, you can use this as a webcam. You can connect this to a Mac or PC. You could use it as a webcam, and you can also live stream from this camera. So with the app, the extra app, you can go into it and you can, set it up, give it your destination, your streaming URL server, whatever it is, your, I don't know where you put the stream key. So I'm always curious about that because I didn't see a place for the stream key, but it says you can live stream from it. And then you could actually use this as kind of like a mobile roving live streaming camera. So that's another cool thing that you can do with this little guy. Now I have thrown some accessories in the carousel for this as well, because I know that a lot of these are going to sell over the holidays, definitely during Prime Day. A lot of these cameras are going to sell. The cage that's on here right now is very good, but one of the things it doesn't have that I would want it to have is a cold shoe, so that I could mount like a light on top of this, or maybe a microphone receiver on this or something like that. And as it sits right now, there's no way to mount anything like that, so I needed an additional cage. So I have two cages that I have listed down in the carousel that are, compatible with this camera. The first one is just a cage by itself. So let's go ahead and highlight that real quick. So that cage is basically just a standard cage, but one of the advantages is it is aluminum. It does have a cold shoe mount here, so you could mount, again, like a microphone or a light or something like that on the body of the camera. And that's basically what it does. It's still going to give you the ability to use all of the connection points like you normally would be able to do. And that little cage is like 20, how much is it right now? $22.36. $22.36, all metal. It has, the quick release button, so you can just take the whole camera out and, use it somewhere else. If you had like maybe two or three of those little cages, one mounted on your motorcycle, one on your helmet, and you were swapping the camera back and forth, you just pull down the little lever, pull the camera out, put it in wherever you want it, press record and go. Now, this also has pre-recording set up on this camera. You can set the pre-recording from, I think it's 5 seconds all the way up to an hour. That means it will be pre-recording even before you press the record button. So when you press the record button, you'll notice on the screen, it'll say whatever time it's been pre-recording plus wherever it started at, right? So that's great if you're using this like as a body cam or something like that. You could just be walking around with this guy. And yes, you could use it as a body camera. So that's another advantage to using a camera like this. But having the right mounting is going to be a concern. So mounting this properly is going to have a lot to do with it. So again, we have that other little cage. Richard says we have 30K likes, babies. All right, let's talk about this other cage. I'm going to show this one to you, and you guys know I am not a fan of showing you guys product pages, but this camera cage will not be here until Thursday. So the only way I need to turn this guy off. It'll auto go off on its own, but I'm just going to go ahead and turn it off. All right, let's put that back there. All right, so let me show you guys this cage. So what the cage does is it basically makes the camera more, the camera more like a traditional camera, okay? So you're going to have a, standard Hold on, let me get the mouse over here. There we go. You're going to have a standard grip like you would normally have on a small compact camera. You're going to have a shutter button. Now you still have a cold shoe mount. You have a cage for it as well. Everything magnetically locks together. And it just kind of takes that camera to pretty much the next level when it comes to hand holding it and being able to just run around at an amusement park, at a party, and an event or whatever. And you're going to have all of the cool features that normally are associated with this camera. Now, the reason why I decided to go ahead and get this cage is because it is on Prime Day deal. It's 20% off right now. So the cage is $47.99. Prime Day deal. This is a very reputable company when it comes to cages. You know, a lot of us, we know Small Rig, we know others newer, things like that. This brand has been around for a long time as well. I'm very